I'll start this meditation off with a little anecdote. I was reading a little story to my granddaughter. It was a Dr. Seuss book, and it actually had a pretty profound message, I thought. So I'll start off the meditation just sharing a little bit about what I saw. It's called Horton Meets a Who, or Horton Hears a Who. And it's about this elephant. He's walking around in the jungle. And because he has such big ears and such acute hearing, on this leaf, he hears like a little colony of almost microscopic creatures. And they're asking for help. And they needed Horton's help. And he was the only one that could hear. And this whole drama happens, and he helps them out. The reason I wanted to bring this up is because if we listen very closely, you're very still, there's something that we could hear. There's something that we could get in touch with that perhaps we would miss during our busy day. And I just thought that book really captured it nicely. So what I'd like to do today is just have us be still and listen very carefully and get in touch with something that we typically don't take time out to really notice. And it's our breath. So let's all shut our eyes and just get in touch with the breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. The breath is like a swing. When you breathe in, the swing rises. And when you breathe out, the swing falls. Let's take a moment to just get in touch with the breath rising like a swing and falling, only to rise again. Now the swing is one toy that children never tire of. My daughter got lots of toys. She would always get tired of them, except for the swing. Because there's something exhilarating about the movement, even though it's the most repetitious of all the things somebody could possibly play with. But that feeling of exhilaration, going up and then dropping, is really just entertaining in itself. And it's there in every breath if you're still enough and listen closely enough. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in and breathe out. And as you breathe out, the breath stops in order to begin breathing in again. Where that breath stops on the out breath, it's not up to you. The breath decides. What I want you to do is just get in touch with where the out-breath stops and how you relinquish control of where that out-breath stops. It's just going to choose where it stops on its own. Noticing how the out-breath decides when it's going to stop. Not you. Just surrendering to that point where the out-breath chooses to stop in order to breathe in again. And imagine that in-breath takes you to the top of a hill, only to slide down in a toboggan. The in-breath, take an in-breath, let it settle at the top of the hill, and then release and take you on a ride down the hill until the toboggan decides to stop. Now, as your toboggan goes back up the hill and stops at the top, you breathe down and ride the slope of the hill. You go into a fog bank and you can't see where you're going down, but you could feel the toboggan moving and you could feel when it stops before it starts back up again to the top of the hill. Releasing the breath, toboggan goes down the hill, down the slope, into the fog bank, can't see where you're going, stops when it decides to stop, and just using feeling, feel it go back up the hill. If you really relax as you release your breath, you notice perhaps you go a little bit further down the hill before the toboggan stops. Breathing in again to the top of the hill. Breathe out completely relaxed down the hill into the fog bank. Can't see, but just by feeling, you could feel where the toboggan stops. And maybe this time it went down just a little bit further. Breathing in, back up the hill again. Breathing out, feeling the slope as you go down into the fog bank. Can't see anything, completely relaxed, and you go a little bit further. Then you take that in-breath, and the toboggan takes you down the slope again, into the fog bank, feeling the slope, relaxed. It takes you for a ride off the ski jump into the canyon below. floating into the canyon, until the toboggan softly lands on a new slope below. Goes down the slope, off another ski jump, into the canyon, feeling the freedom, and softly landing on a new slope.
Thank you for meditating with me. Remember to subscribe to my channel for more meditations as they go live. Click above for a list of previous meditations so that you can meditate with me on your own time, anytime.